Peace and blessings. Shout out to all of y'all, my YouTube family, my Instagram family, my Facebook family, wherever you are watching this at. I didn't make a video today. I've been busy. I've been on the move. Had a lot of things to do and just, you know how the day goes and time just flies. But look, I want to talk about something because once again, I do a little celebrity gossip, but that's only to prove a larger point and only to use pop culture to explain a lot of political phenomenons. So let's talk about our brother Durk, y'all. Let's talk about our brother Little Durk. Our brother Durk, I think he about my age. We around the same age. It's looking bad. It's looking horrible. Apparently, his friends are talking now. Now, if you know the history of Durk, Durk's been into some... See, this is the thing we're not going to do, right? Because one thing I noticed about this conversation, a lot of people are kind of like... I get, like, there's a balance. There's like the F the street movement. The street's not cool. You got to understand, it's not so much the streets. This is politics. Durk comes from the south side of Chicago. I think Inglewood, low-end area. You gotta understand, and people are saying he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have done this. When you're coming from them type of environments, there's not really a choice. This is your environment. You go outside, it's going down. You either get with a team or you don't. And you out there like fish in water. So when people call it gang banging, I guess, and these are the terms that the media want to use and the police use, it's not necessarily a gang. This is like family, brothers, cousins. So these people have known each other for years. They grew up together. So now Durk has found himself in a peculiar situation. He has murder for hire. He's in the feds right now and in isolation. Now, the point I'm trying to make is, and this is the reason why I say to a lot of black men and brothers, we got to start doing a better job at creating our own future. If you know Durk, I'm from the Midwest. So like growing up, I realized I heard Durk a lot earlier than anybody heard him. Like people first heard him like 3 years ago. I'm like, man, we've been listening to Durk for years. If you know Durk was just a regular dude rapping. And he somehow got lucky, you know what I mean, through that Chief Keef wave, and he got signed. Now, one thing we're not gonna do is, because we gotta look out for our brother Durk, we can't start throwing stones at him talking about, you gotta understand these labels sign a particular artist and tell them to make particular music. So you're gonna tell me a kid from the south side of Chicago who's rapping and the label's saying, yeah, we need more of that gangster street music. He got a family to feed. He says, okay, we gonna rap about that. Is Durk a bad person? I don't get that energy from him. I've never met the brother, but I'm not gonna throw dirt on him like that. But so now he's in the feds and he has trial coming up and he's been in isolation. See, as a black man, how do I explain this to all the brothers? How do we explain this? Because, you know, we get criminalized very fast. Nobody wants to hear the story before this. They just go, oh, y'all killing each other. But explain the conditions that we are put in and put through. The ghettos don't just appear. They're created by the government. Read the coroner report. Lyndon Baines Johnson, during the red hot summer, when Detroit went on fire, Memphis went on fire, went and sent out the FBI to come out with a report and says, why are these black people in these cities so angry and upset, burning everything? And they said it's because white people are implementing and creating the ghettos and sustaining the ghettos. These ghettos don't just appear. It's lack of resources, lack of opportunities. So you have young brothers out here growing up in these areas when then you're also being force-fed this rap music by who? You know, the white supremacist record labels. They will find someone like Durk and say, hey, kid, I know you ain't got too much opportunity. Rap about some street stuff so that we can sell merchandise and we can do private prisons and we'll pay you. Durk, being a young guy, doesn't really understand what he's doing, but he's making millions in fame. Now Durk is getting older, like we all get older, and we look back at our past and we say, man, I was doing a lot of stupid stuff. I was doing a lot of stupid stuff. The fact is, Durk, his situation, they was really doing it. They was out here. You know, they was out here. So we're not gonna throw the brother under the rug. See, now what's gonna happen with this federal trial, they're gonna demonize him. They're gonna make it seem like Durk just woke up one day and said, I wanna be a gangster. You tell me, you losing your cousins, brothers, everybody. You're up $1 million. I don't know about how strong of a person you are, but not too many of us is gonna let somebody who unalives your loved one just walk this earth. Because we know that happens a lot in these communities, these ghettos, is the police will let well-known unalivers in these areas walk around. They don't care. They don't investigate them. How is there so many murders in Chicago? Unsolved? They don't care. They said let them kill each other. So you're gonna tell me you have a loved one who is unalived and you see this guy every day at a restaurant? Of course you shouldn't do it, but some people can't walk around the world knowing that someone that they love was unalived, and I see that guy every day. See, now, this is what we're talking about, and this is the reason why I say I make this channel for black men, because most of y'all not going to understand this. You're not going to get it. And so what we not going to do, because I see on the internet, is we not going to start throwing Durk, because Durk a real one. He a real one. Now, there's a lot of fake rappers I don't like too much, but we know Durk. I've been watching Durk, listening to Durk for years now. And even though he messed up, we're gonna say, brothers, congratulations, because your families, you made millions, your family's gonna be straight for the rest of your life. You're gonna have to probably, if this goes bad, Durk is looking at spending the rest of his life in the federal penitentiary. And I don't think y'all understand how many brothers are in the federal penitentiary, state penitentiary. There are more black men who've been in the penitentiary than were in slavery. The penitentiary is legal slavery. Now, if Durk blows trial, he loses, they're gonna probably send him to ADX. And I know y'all don't even know what ADX is. It's a thing, us as brothers, black men, we know what ADX is. That's where they send the guys. It's a federal penitentiary. You don't get any physical visits. You don't get any physical mail. Everything is done through a screen. You probably get about a call once or twice a month. It's a 23-1. You get 23 hours in your cell, 1 outside. They got so many black political prisoners. We had our brother who just passed away. I made a post about him. Pac, why am I forgetting his name? Who was in ADX. He passed away. He was a Black Panther. We got Mumia Jabbar in there, who's doing the rest of his life. He was a journalist in ADX Penitentiary. We got Larry Hoover, who was the head of the growth and development, there are so many brothers in the federal penitentiary, so don't tell me he did this and this. I don't believe the feds for 1 second. If you believe Kash Patel and the federal government, as a black man, we know they lie all the time. They're nothing but liars. I don't believe nothing that the feds say about another brother. I can't trust you. After all the damage you've done to our community, how y'all sitting there and then talking about Dirk did this, Dirk did. We don't know what that brother did. But I will say this to you brothers with the F the Streets movement. I get it. The streets is not good. But if you and your brothers and your guys or whoever sit down and decide to do something, you cannot go down to them crackers and run your mouth if you get caught. You can't. You worse than scum. You're the worst thing on planet Earth. And I pray you burn in hell. You cannot do that. You cannot sit there with your brother you come from the mud with, you share food with, and then when stuff gets real, you decide I want it out. So I'm gonna throw everybody in. No, you're scum. And every day you wake up, you look in the mirror, you're gonna look at yourself and say, I'm not even a man, you're a coward. You shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. Say no. I can't tell you how many brothers I know who ran their mouth. I know some real ones who kept it solid. Shout out to Keith, Roman. But I'm gonna tell y'all, Dirk is not about Dirk. Well, it's about Dirk. It's his life. But y'all not gonna sit on here on the internet and start saying, "Oh, it's his fault. It's his fault." It's the conditions that we are put in that create it. And you don't understand it unless you come from it or you've been up close personal to it. You don't understand it. So to the brothers, y'all get off this internet. I seen Wayno doing some goofy stuff, talking about, oh man, this and man, Wayno, stop. Then I seen Zip with the drip. Oh man, this and that. Well, Zip had a point. Dirk, don't get off the internet complaining. You know what time it is. Connect with God. I know you a Muslim. Assalamu alaikum. Get on your deen, man. It's time to get on your deen. Only God can help you now. You are possibly looking at spending the rest of your life in a federal penitentiary, brother. You have the world in your hands. Millions of dollars, a Barbie wife, mansions, cars, a name, respect. And just like that, gone. But we're not going to sit here and act like as black men we don't know what this is. This is not just a decision made overnight. This is it's a cycle that happens in the unserved communities. So I'm going to tell y'all, brother Dirk, man, get on your deen. May Allah be with you, brother. Buckle up. You on that ride, brother. God will humble you, man. You know what I mean? I'm not excusing anything that they were doing. But if you in there and you running your mouth, that's got to be the worst feeling in the world. To see your own brother telling those crackers, as much as they've done to us as a people, all your business. And he probably feeding these people, paying them, taking care of their family. And guess what? If you really look at it, and it sounds twisted, I know people are not going to understand this mindset because you don't come from these environments. He really did his thing. He got his people out the trenches. I don't think you know what Southside Chicago like if you've never been there. It's the real deal, Holyfield. It is no joke. And he got the millions of dollars he had to sacrifice his life to. But brother, keep your head up, get off the internet, don't cry, complain, chest out. You know what I mean? You know what time it is, brother. You know what time it is. But anyway, you know the motto, the slogan, chase knowledge, don't chase money. Peace, love, positivity.